HASAG is a charity that support mesothelioma patients and other asbestos-related diseases. We go and see patients at home shortly after their diagnosis to support them to claim benefits, signpost them to compensation, liaise with their lung nurse specialists, offer counselling, support groups and any other support that the family needs. We look at them holistically and their families to ensure that they're not isolated or alone during their mesothelioma journey. I co-founded HASAG with my sister Diane back in 2006 after losing my own father to mesothelioma. He was diagnosed earlier that year and survived only 10 months from diagnosis. And we found the journey from his diagnosis to him sadly passing away incredibly isolating. We had no support, didn't know where to get certain things like a perching stall, how to get benefits, who to turn to. So after we lost him, my sister and I decided to set up what was originally a support group, a coffee morning, to meet other people that had been diagnosed, and the charity has snowballed from there. I'm really passionate about making sure that others don't have the same journey that we did as a family. We need to make sure that when a patient is diagnosed that they get expert advice, not just about compensation, benefits advice, but they're put in the right direction for treatment, trials, ensuring that they have everything that they need and they don't have to search for it. It's incredibly important to me to make sure that we kind of wrap our arms around the family and ensure that they're not isolated during this really difficult time for them, and to focus on the family as well, to make sure that they're well supported, because the carers are just as important as the patient. I think there's a myth that mesothelioma doesn't exist anymore because the import of asbestos has stopped and has been banned within building materials. I don't think people realise the latency period from being exposed to asbestos to becoming poorly. I don't believe that we've reached the peak of people being diagnosed with mesothelioma and other asbestos-related diseases. So it's incredibly important to us as a charity to ensure that people are aware of the dangers of asbestos. We all like to knock down walls, extend our houses, have a nice kitchen diner, but do we really check to make sure that when we knock those walls through, they don't contain asbestos? We need to make sure that all the jobs that we do, the DIY, anything that we're doing, taking that shed down, that small garage in our garden, that we're not disturbing asbestos and exposing people, continuing to expose people to asbestos. So we must raise awareness of how dangerous this product is. So we offer a wraparound service. Initially, we'll book an appointment to see the patient and their loved one in their home so that we can sit with them and talk through their worries, concerns, any questions that they have about mesothelioma. And we'll fill out a number of forms to enable them to receive certain entitlements from the government. There's some weekly payments and lump sum payments from the government. We'll also apply for a blue badge for them. We'll signpost them to other services as well. That may be occupational therapy to ensure that they get a stair lift or any aids that they may need at home. We discuss compensation with them and offer them a list of solicitors that we've vetted that are fantastic at their work to ensure that they get good advice about compensation. We look at blue badges to ensure that they get those in a timely fashion, and then give them information about our other services, which include a will writing service, counselling service, and access to the support groups that we hold. We hold a number of support groups, 7 in total, and also a Zoom support group for those that can't travel. So we try and make sure that we stay in touch with those patients to ensure that they're not isolated or concerned or worried about any aspect of their disease. The advice that I would give to a patient is to reach out to a support group. That's the most important aspect. And they're able to pick up all the pieces for those patients, which allows them to then concentrate on their treatment. They don't need to worry about form filling and making sure that entitlements are in place and searching for a solicitor and worrying about where they can get counselling and to meet other people that have been diagnosed with the same. Support groups are at the heart of the support that patients can receive, and it's incredibly important that we help you during your journey to ensure that you don't have to worry about any of paper filling, form filling, any of those worries. All you need to do is make sure that you go to your next appointment. We're very passionate about making sure that the law firms that are on our panel are vetted fully. So when a law firm approaches us and asks us to be considered for panel membership, we go through due diligence to make sure that that law firm does exactly what they say that they offer. So we'll do our own due diligence to begin with. We'll ask them to fill out quite a long questionnaire about the work that they do. We ensure that they don't charge for their services, and then we'll meet with that law firm to ensure that they're really approachable and easy to get on with during that process. So it's incredibly important to us that we select really good law firms to be on our panel. We love it when patients and their loved ones get involved with HASAG, fundraising, coming along to our events like Action Mesothelioma Day, Christmas lunches, to raise that awareness about mesothelioma. I myself, when my dad was diagnosed, sat in the consultant's room, had never heard of the word mesothelioma. And so when patients are diagnosed, they say the very same thing. So if we can raise the awareness of the dangers of asbestos and what mesothelioma is, and raise money towards research, which is key to one day hopefully have a cure for this terrible disease. That's all that we can ask of patients, to help us raise the awareness of the dangers and treatment that's needed for all of these patients. I think it's an absolute privilege to be invited and welcomed into the homes of all the patients that we see. We come and see those patients at the most difficult time in their life, and they allow us to sit with them for an hour or two to talk about their story. And from my perspective personally, it's an absolute privilege to be able to support these people. Some people say to me that my job is sad. I don't think it is. I think it's an absolute pleasure to be able to meet these people at the most difficult time in their life. And I'm thankful and grateful that myself and my whole team at HASAG are able to do that and support patients and their loved ones shortly after diagnosis.